What's up everyone, GameCat Todd here. This is kind of an impromptu video that I just decided to make out of the blue because something was sort of bothering me. You see, after being on my PlayStation 5 and playing Ride 4, a phenomenal racing game, motorcycle racing game, it kind of struck me that why aren't there any real quality motorcycle games in VR? And could we potentially see some awesome motorcycle VR games come into PlayStation VR2, which would be phenomenal. And they are talking about hybrid games, such as maybe do Ride 4 in VR, which would be great. And it made me think, what else is there available on PSVR1 right now? And Jesus Christ, the answer there is fucking pathetic. So let me go ahead and show you what we actually have, starting with this right here. Okay, this is Apocalypse Rider, a very cheap indie game. I didn't expect much of it. Basically, you have a decent selection of bikes, from a little scooter looking thing, and it goes all the way up to like a super bike, like a GSXR wannabe. The graphics here are pretty PS2-ish, maybe even PS1-ish. And there's really not much going on here, but it is a little bit fun. I did have some fun with it because you can also upgrade your bikes with enhancements like their speed, acceleration, handling, but it's really basic, okay? So you basically just ride around a highway with traffic in your way, and you want to get as close to them as possible without hitting them. If you stay completely away from traffic, your bike slows down. So you need to keep getting these near misses and multiple near misses in order to maintain your top speed to get to the finish goal line. However, these motherfuckers do not know how to use blinkers. There's like this fake sports car thing in particular that constantly loves to just dive right in front of you, causing you to crash repeatedly. Most of the other traffic kind of adheres to the rules of the road. Don't expect to see any turn signals. They'll just dart right out in front of you as you're trying to pass them or nearly miss them, I guess. There's semi-trucks, monster trucks, regular pickup trucks, there's tow trucks, and a few others. Now, when you get to the finish goal line, they tell you like, hey, you completed this, here's some money, go on to the next mission, or you can go into the garage and upgrade your bike, or even skip upgrades altogether, which I liked. I just kind of saved my money up and bought a way better bike, and then I customized it a little bit to make it a little more faster, which actually improved my fun I was having, because it did feel kind of slow and laggish until I got this new bike. Now, as you can see, I'm going much faster. There's them fucking assholes. Yeah, those are the cars that'll just dodge right out in front of you with zero warning whatsoever. Anyway, the point here is to keep going until you inevitably crash, which you'll do a lot. So that was Apocalypse Rider, but I mean, there's got to be something better out there, right? I mean, it wasn't bad for what it was, but it wasn't great or even very good. So I dug a little further and I discovered a little hidden gem I guess I just never even played, which did improve things, and that would be MR4 Motor Racer. Now, MR4 is by Microids, the same developers of ATV, Drift and Tricks, Definitive Edition, also in VR. So there's not much difference between them. Now, if you're looking for VR, you only have Time Attack and Hot Lap in VR, not the full game, the championship, or even single race. So it's very limited as to what you can do in VR, but it is made with the Unreal Engine. So it does look considerably more realistic than the Apocalypse Rider we just looked at. However, the visuals are quite blurry off in the distance. There's a lot of jaggeds going on here and some pop in, but I will say the handling on these bikes is phenomenal. The speed feels great, the handling is far better, and it's a lot closer to the motorcycle VR gaming experience that someone who's an avid actual motorcycle rider like myself wants. You can even go off track and die or find shortcuts, while you're doing this. It does feel a bit lonely here, though. I will say there's nobody to race with. There's very light traffic on the road, so not too many obstacles for you to engage with. And you do also have a turbo boost. If you hold X down, You get an additional boost of speed as well as be able to pull off wheelies. Now there's supposed to be tricks and shit. I wasn't able to enable any. The 3 areas I checked out, one being the desert you just saw, this being the woodlands, which I really like the look of the woodlands. Is probably my favorite of the 3 levels I've tried. But yeah, as you can see, the traffic's very light. They don't offer any real difficulty here. They're easy to navigate around. They're never quite in your way. It's basically kind of satisfies that hunger of wanting to ride a motorcycle in VR, which, you know, most of us that have real motorcycles don't care to do unless you live in a winter state like me and you just can't ride your bike and you're just dying to get on a fucking bike. So, hey, VR's the closest thing we can do sometimes, and I'll take it, and I'm happy for what's here, but it could be so much better, especially with the power of the PSVR2 that's coming out very soon. So, in making this, I'm just kind of hoping that eventually we will see quality AAA motorcycle VR gaming experiences in VR. Like, I think it's a genre that's desperately needed out there that would do fairly well. There's millions of motorcycle riders and gamers and people who maybe are too afraid or intimidated to get on a real motorcycle, whereas they probably ride this if they had the chance, at least to try it in VR, which would be great. Now, I really love this level. You know, there's things like the windmills that look cool, but you can also go off track or run into guardrails like I'm doing here, and find neat little jumps and shortcuts to the track. I did have some fun with this, a lot more than Apocalypse Riders, but it's just a really shallow experience, so it isn't going to offer you much, but it will kind of scratch that itch of just wanting to be on a bike and feel some speed for a minute. So it successfully does that. It's unfortunate that it's just time attack or hot laps. I wish they would have added more. But that's it. As far as motorcycle games go, that is fucking it. And that sucks. And I think there needs to be a lot more going on moving forward. And hopefully we will see that with the PlayStation VR 2. So devs, if you're listening, especially the Ride 4 devs, Sony's talking hybrid games. Get on board with that. I'm telling you, you will have a smash hit on your hands if someone like myself could actually get on a realistic looking and feeling motorcycle and ride in VR. It's desperately needed out there. It's a genre nobody's covering. We're hoping you can do it. Till next time, have fun, stay kind, keep gaming.